What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Hang on a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to fix my Fire Stick. I actually just got my new Fire Stick just a few weeks ago, so yeah. Anyway, so today's video, I am going to be giving you guys my predictions for the 2021 Royal Rumble, which kicks off the road to WrestleMania. As of now, there are 6 matches on the card. 2 of them being the Royal Rumble matches, 2 world title matches, and 2 women's title matches as well. I'm not so sure if we're going to be seeing anything else. We may end up seeing something tomorrow night. They may announce something tomorrow night on Smackdown. Maybe the Intercontinental title will get defended. Who knows? But let's kick this off with a match that was announced earlier this week on Raw, as Charlotte Flair and Asuka will defend the women's tag team titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, which for the record, Flair, Jax, and Baszler are all going to be in the women's Royal Rumble match. Asuka could get involved, but let's be honest, she's the Raw Women's Champion, and not sure if that would work out. But this is a rivalry that actually goes back to TLC, actually, where we saw Charlotte Flair make her return to the WWE after a injury that dates all the way back to last summer, courtesy of Nia Jax, and they end up becoming women's tag team champions. And if you guys remember, in an interview, they were asked why did they team up, and they said that it was out of respect. They have so much respect for each other. They've been friends for a while, and they figure, what the hell, why not? And it actually worked out so well. But the one thing that you have to think about is the fact that this past Monday on Raw, Alexa Bliss freaked out Asuka. So the big question is what's Asuka's mindset going into that match? That's the big question here. But as long as Asuka is able to put her mind focused on the match this Sunday, there's no doubt in my mind that Flair and Asuka will win it. But if her mind and her heart isn't in the match, then Jax and Baszler are going to become two-time champions. But if I had to pick, I would have to pick Flair and Asuka, just because of the fact that their chemistry together is so much better than Jax and Baszler, and plus, there's been a bit of a little bit of turmoil between Jax and Baszler, so that could come into play come Sunday. Next up, we have Sasha Banks versus Carmela for the Smackdown Women's title. There was a stipulation to this. If Carmela wanted her shot at the Smackdown Women's title, Sasha Banks would have to do battle with Carmela's sommelier, Reginald. And I mean, Reginald may be athletic, but that was nothing compared to Sasha's skills in the ring, as she did make Reginald tap out last week on SmackDown to the bank statement. And again, Carmela now has her shot at the SmackDown Women's title. This would actually be, if she wins the title, this would actually be this would be her first championship in 2 years, almost 2 years, which is absolutely insane, because Carmela, the last time she was SmackDown Women's Champion, it actually did not. It actually didn't disappoint. I'll admit, it did not disappoint. She was champion from the night she cashed in Money in the Bank on Charlotte on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, all the way up until SummerSlam. So April, May, June, July, August. So I would say about 4, maybe 5 months was how long she was champion for, and that was a pretty good run, I will say. But judging by the look in her eyes, it seems as if she wasn't pleased with her run as champion at that time. So maybe this one, with this run, if she wins the title on Sunday from Sasha, this run, it could be different. But I don't know. I think the momentum that Sasha has since winning the title back in October at Hell in a Cell, I think I think all the momentum will ride straight into WrestleMania. So I got to go with Sasha Banks on this one. Next up, we have a last man standing match for the Universal Championship. The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns is defending his title against what we thought was going to be Adam Pearce, but card subject to change. Yeah, it ended up being Kevin Owens, actually, and Roman Reigns was not happy about it. So if you guys are wondering how this rivalry came about, this actually started all the way back in 2016, actually, when Kevin Owens had became Universal Champion in a Fatal 4-Way match. Actually, I believe it was in. Let's take a look. I want to say it was like right around like September. Yeah. So it was like right around September. Just a few weeks after SummerSlam, actually, where Finn Balor had to relinquish the title due to an injury, which then forced a fatal 4-way elimination match between Big Cass, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. Big Cass was the first man to be eliminated by Kevin Owens, and then because of Triple H, Roman Reigns got eliminated by Seth Rollins, and then Kevin Owens eliminated Seth Rollins because of Triple H. As to why, I couldn't tell you, but Kevin Owens had been champion from that night up until, I believe it was Fastlane 2017. Let me take a look. If I remember right, I believe it was Fastlane 2017. So Goldberg had pinned Kevin Owens with the jackhammer to become Universal Champion with an assist from Chris Jericho, who was still in WWE at that time. Now I think he's doing his own thing now, which is awesome, by the way. And then Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns had battled each other multiple times over the title. They had battled multiple times, after that, and it all came full circle. It's all come full circle here because Adam Pearce was supposed to have challenged Roman Reigns for the title after he won a gauntlet match by pinning Shinsuke Nakamura, but Adam Pearce ended up had faked a knee injury and gave Kevin Owens the opportunity to sign the contract, and now it's this. As you guys know, last man standing, no countouts, no submissions, no pinfalls, no disqualifications. Only way to win is to beat the hell out of your opponent to the point where he cannot answer the referee's 10 count. This actually fits perfectly in Kevin Owens' alleyway because obviously Kevin Owens, has his own mantra, fight Owens, fight, and Kevin Owens loves to fight, and this fits in his alleyway, but also too, it also fits in Roman's alleyway because he has won several last man standing matches throughout the time he's been in the main roster, which is actually 9 years. It'll be 9 years this upcoming November. So in November 2021, it will be 9 years that he has been in the WWE, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. But given the fact that Roman Reigns is going to have Jey Uso in his corner, there's no doubt in my mind that Roman Reigns is going to retain his title. So I gotta go with the Tribal Chief on this one. All right, you guys. Next up, we have a match based on respect. I want to take you guys back to Raw Legends Night several weeks ago, where Keith Lee challenged Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. You had all the legends on stage. You had Booker. You had Melina. I think Boogeyman was there. Big Show, Ric Flair, Captain Charisma, Christian, Jeff Jarrett. I think Molly Holly was there. Tori Wilson, just to name a few. They were all sitting on stage watching an incredible WWE Championship match, an incredible match. And Goldberg thought that McIntyre had no respect for the legends, but the funny thing is that Drew McIntyre is built on respect. You know, he has so much respect for this business that he, in his mind, he always dedicates his matches to those that he grew up watching. Ric Flair, Big Show, just to name a couple. And Goldberg did not believe that, so Goldberg ended up challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship for this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. And this is a very interesting scenario because despite that one loss that McIntyre had to Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell, Drew McIntyre has been champion for almost a year. Discount the his loss of the WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell. Discount that. He's been champion for almost a year. And it was at this event last year that he had won the Royal Rumble at number 16. He entered the match at number 16, and there's only been, like, I would say maybe 2 people who had entered the match at number 16 and won the whole thing. There hasn't been a whole lot. But and then of course he had went on to WrestleMania and beat Brock Lesnar in under 5 minutes to become WWE champion, and he's been champion ever since. Discount the loss he had to Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. And it's also interesting because out of every single world championship that Goldberg has held in WWE and in WCW, this title, the WWE Championship, is the only title he has never held. He's held the World Heavyweight Championship, the WCW Championship, and the Universal Championship. I believe Goldberg is the only person in WWE to have ever done that. But if he were to become WWE Champion, he would be the only man in my mind, if I remember correctly, Goldberg would be the only person in WWE history to have held the WCW Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, the Universal Championship, and the WWE Championship in one single career. That has never been done before. Of course, too, I could be wrong, but if I am wrong, let me know in the comments below, because I think that is the case in this scenario. But honestly, given the fact that this is the road to WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre is going to be at his best, and we all know when it comes to the road to WrestleMania, you always have to be your best. And honestly, you can't. You can't bet against Goldberg because he's Goldberg, but in this sense, you cannot bet against Drew McIntyre. So I'm sticking with Drew McIntyre. If he can manage to defeat Goldberg, I think Drew McIntyre could very well have earned Goldberg's respect, which is a possibility. But now it's time to have a quick discussion, if you will, of both the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. Think of the names that are going to be in both these matches. Starting with the women's Royal Rumble match, you have Charlotte Flair, you have Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Dana Brooke, you have Mandy Rose, you've got the Riot Squad, you've got I believe Billie Kay is going to be in there as well. You have you have Nikki Cross, you have Alexa Bliss, Tamina, so many more. And then on the men's side, you have Miz, you have Morrison, you've got Edge. Yes, Edge. If you guys don't know, Edge will be making his return back to the WWE for the first time since the summer to enter the men's Royal Rumble match. And I think if that were to be the case, then we know Beth Phoenix will probably show up, which I would love to see that. Randy Orton is going to be in the Royal Rumble match despite the first degree burns that he has on his face. Otis is going to be there. Chad Gable. Who else? I think Daniel Bryan is going to be there. Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro. So many names. So many main event players. Former world champions. Future world champions. former women's champions, Hall of Famers. It's going to be incredible. I would probably consider this Royal Rumble to be the best Royal Rumble that we had in a while, because the last time a Royal Rumble was this good prior to last year, I think would have to be 2001. I think 2001, or no, sorry, no. 2011. I think 2011 would probably have to be the best one, because of one reason and one reason only, is the fact that that was the only time in history that there were 40 men in a single Royal Rumble match. But if you want to talk about big Royal Rumble matches, you have to talk about the greatest Royal Rumble in 2018, which I actually did my prediction video of. Where are you? Here you are. That was actually when Braun Strowman had eliminated Big Cass to win the 50-man Royal Rumble. And there were a lot of people. There were so many different superstars from that match. You had Daniel Bryan. I believe he entered the match at number 1 and damn near lasted the whole thing. I think he lasted an hour 16 minutes, which is incredible. Honestly, it's kind of it's at this stage, given the fact that we're not at the Royal Rumble yet, it's kind of hard to predict who is gonna win it. But as far as who is the odds-on favorite, hands down, you have to pick Edge. Daniel Bryan would be one, Shinsuke Nakamura, and even also Charlotte Flair as well, and also the Riot Squad. Given the fact that the Riot Squad, they've been overlooked, overshadowed, and I think their time has come. I think one of those two women, between Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, one of those two could very well win the Royal Rumble. But they also have their eyes on the women's tag team titles. So it could be a possibility that they may end up challenging for the titles at WrestleMania, which is a very high possibility. But of course, only time will tell. Which brings me to the question of the day: what are your guys' predictions for the Royal Rumble card, and who do you think is going to win the men's and women's Royal Rumble match? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more pay-per-view predictions in the foreseeable future, because I think the next one that I'm doing is going to be NXT TakeOver, so I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description. And if you guys have fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.